So Nike CEO Elliott Hill sat down with CNBC a few weeks back, and he talked about how the company lost its rhythm and how they plan to get it back. Let's get into it.
So here you are. It's been almost a year, and you've had a year to really dig in and sift through the issues because you came to turn it around. So what's your diagnosis of what went wrong?
Well, I try not to look backwards. I've tried to snap the chalk line and move forward, but if I had to, I think I'm going to oversimplify it. I think when COVID hit, supply got constrained, demand goes up, and I think the team did what I think anybody would do. You shift product over to digital commerce, and all of a sudden that takes off. It's double revenue, double margin, and it's a winning strategy. And then, of course, everything normalized. Physical retail started to open back up, and we continued on with that strategy. And so continue to invest in Nike Direct digital commerce. And I think over time, it ended up hurting the brand because
Direct to consumer is kind of the downfall. So during the pandemic, Nike actually restrained stock from Foot Locker and Champ. Let me clarify that. They didn't restrain as in stop giving them product. They actually cut back the amount of product that store was getting. Foot Locker being the parent company, Champs being, underneath Foot Locker. Champs took the biggest hit. They didn't even get like certain releases. And not to mention, Footaction was open around that time. They went out of business along with Eastbay. So when they start constraining or reducing product line to these stores, hard to keep up when majority of their product that they sell, at least guaranteed to sell, was cut in half. And you can apply the same logic to JD Sports, Shoe Palace, Hibbett Sports, so on and so forth. And let's not forget about the mom and pop shops. You remember them? Well, maybe you don't. Some of them are out of business now because they're relying on the Nike contract or the Jordan brand contract to sell product, at least get people in the stores, at least for these big releases. And that's no longer a thing. A lot of mom and pop shops are out of business.
there's a certain set of consumers that want to shop choice, and they want to shop across each of the different channels of distribution. And so when I came back, that was one thing. And then the other one was also maybe spending too much focus on 3 sportswear styles that I think we ended up putting too much revenue behind those 3 sportswear styles.
Different channels means different doors. It's the foot traffic sites was called them. That's like your JD Sports, your Shoe Palace, Champs, and Foot Locker. Those are your doors. But when he referenced different channels, you and I may want to shop at Foot Locker exclusively because maybe we earn a certain amount of points. Well, what if Foot Locker don't have that particular shoe? Or we could apply the same logic to JD Sports. JD Sports have a award system as well. However, JD Sports don't get Kobe's, and they also don't get foam posits. But JD Sports, if you forgot, owns Shoe Palace. Shoe Palace do get those 2 releases, the foam posits and the Kobe's. So certain stores don't get certain products where other stores do. Well, if you start constraining of these companies, these parent companies with product, and it's hard for them to distribute them evenly across different channels, aka doors, you're now forced to shop at one particular location, Nike. But Nike don't have reward points. They're not around the corner. You can't try the shoe on. So that's what he means by channels.
Now you're fixing it, you're cleaning up. But we've also talked about culture.
Yes.
And the unique culture of Nike and what you're doing to sort of bring things in a different direction.
My first day on the job, which was October 14th, I stood up on stage, and my first slide had 2 images and 2 statements. We're a sport company, and we're a growth company.
So emphasize one thing. So Elliott Hill came back to Nike not this year, 2025, the year before that. This is his report card year after he came to the company in October. Also, he did specify what Nike is, their core competency. They're definitely a sports company, but the other aspect is they're a marketing company as well. And one can't live without the other.
And we're not, they're not mutually exclusive. When we grow sport, we grow the overall marketplace, and when we grow the overall marketplace, I like our chances of growing. And it was a loud clap because, hey, we're going back to sport. We're going to put the athlete back at the center of everything that we do. And I think that's really helped from a cultural perspective, anchoring.
Facts. It definitely would help from a cultural perspective. We just fed shoes. All these dunks that was flooding the stores during the pandemic, no one asked for them. Maybe the pandas took off, but I think that has to do with social media, with TikTokers more than anything. True sneakerheads, or at least the people who got into sneakers, they got in because of maybe a marketing employee that Nike did, or maybe a story, that you told someone that someone resonated and be like, oh, I'll check that out. Maybe I get it. Or now Nike has doing this initiative where they go into these HBCU schools, like the FAMUs, the Spelmans, and they collaborate with them. Now they have Air Max 95s. That's storytelling. That's marketing. That's getting people that won't other buy the shoes into buying the shoes because they want to represent their college. So they definitely got to get back with storytelling. That's very important.
And centering us back on sport. But in addition to that, I started really spending time on our mission statement, our sense of purpose. Why do we come to the office every single day? It's this idea of inspiration and innovation for every athlete in the world. And then I also we reintroduced our maxims, what we believe in and how we behave. And I think all of those coupled together have really helped to lift and accelerate the culture moving forward.
What does that mean that you're going to put sport at the forefront of everything you do? Because people think of Nike, that's how it's always been.
Yeah.
So what are you doing differently there?
Well, so I think the easiest way to think about it, we have three brands, Nike, Jordan, and Converse. And
people forget that too. Nike owns Converse. They bought them in 2003 let's verify that real quickly. There we go. Nike bought Converse in 2003 for approximately $305 million. The acquisition was completed in July of that year, 2 years after Converse filed for bankruptcy. Wow, I didn't even know Converse filed for bankruptcy. Okay, it makes sense. They built them out, literally.
And we're reorganized. Just early September, we reorganized each brand by sport. So think Nike running, Nike basketball, Nike training, etc. We have small cross-functional teams in each of those segments, if you will, of business. And the idea is that the consumers in each of those segments and the competition in each of those segments is different. And so by having these small cross-functional teams.
Yeah, that's obvious. Converse basketball is not the same as Nike basketball. Yes, two different brands. The goal is to get people to rock the shoes and wear the shoes. Obviously different tech, but it's going to be a different approach. Was it not like that before? That's crazy. And the same thing for Jordan brand as well. Maybe it wasn't. I don't work there.
They come to work every single day. The Nike running team does. And they're there to serve the running athlete. And every decision they make, whether it's an innovation story, or whether it's a distribution decision, or if it's a marketing story, it all anchors on what do we need to do to serve.
That used to be separate.
And we were organized by men's, women's, kids. And we've lost the sharpness of sport with men being the primary, women's being the primary, and kids being the primary. And so we flipped it. So it's Nike running, Nike basketball, et cetera. And then Jordan, the same thing. Jordan basketball, Jordan golf. And so these small cross-functional teams focused on a different consumer segment. And that
makes sense. Why weren't y'all doing that before? That's crazy to me.
Really helped us get sharp in a couple of areas. Number one, innovative product. I think we'd lost.
There goes the word, innovation. Now, Nike is guilty of providing us nostalgia. So it's kind of hard to shake that. We want our Air Max 90s. We want our Air Max 95s, 97s, 98s. We're not caring for the DNs. Now, to be fair, I did try a pair of Nike DNs on. Super comfortable. Aesthetically, not for me. Maybe I'm still stuck in the 90s. And that's what Nike been pushing to us. The Air Maxes, the Air Max 90s. But they got some new innovation styles that I actually like most recently. But still, that tech is like 7, 8 years old. There's no 2025 tech besides the DN8s, and maybe that's not new. The Vapor Max, cool shoe. The Vapor Max Plus, cool shoe. Even as far as the running shoe, like the Vapor Fly Next and the Vapor Alpha, the running shoes, cool, but they're guappy, very expensive. You probably get a marathon or two out of them. So far as everyday comfort walkers, like my Vomero 5s, those are older shoes, older models. What do we have equivalent? Now, they do got the Vomero 18s, great shoe. That's different. The tech has evolved with the Zoom X. It's not in a lot of different silhouettes, at least the silhouettes that we love. Now imagine if they was to flip the Air Max 90s and put the Zoom X in there. That would be cool, but I doubt that's going to happen. 1 year report with CNBC. He broke down where the culture went wrong, or actually the culture of Nike, where they went wrong due to the direct to consumer, where they started housing majority of their product and selling it, and profit tank after the country reopened. They restructure their whole organization from Nike, Jordan Brand, and Converse across all boards. Different teams are focusing on different perspective of the culture regarding the athletes and the marketing. Let me know. Let me know if Nike found its way, if they got a way to bounce back. We'll see. We'll see. Anyways, I'll see you out in the next building. Thanks for watching. Peace.